Hi, hello, I'm Mandy and welcome to my channel. Today is day 14 of my Mermay series and I am ready to get started. For this day 14, I sketched out a mermaid and her doll sitting on a rock out in the water. So she's above water in this one, so her hair is not as flowy and shapely. It's all just down. So doing the wet on wet technique. I just love watching how the watercolor pigment just like flows and blends, and here you can see me overwork it again. I wish I could just leave it, but I just couldn't. I need to. I'm still working on it. I'm still improving. I'm an always learning artist. Yeah, so here's the tail. And for the sketch, or actually for the tail, I didn't want to complete the bottom 100% because it was supposed to be like into the water. But you can see I couldn't resist, and I did because I overworked things. But moved on to the skin and started on that, and then realized I couldn't do the second half of the back arm because it was surrounded by wet, and I didn't want it to all bleed into the hand and everything. So I had to stop doing that and move on to something else. So I moved on to the tail of the doll. And then moved on to the dry brush technique for the water. And I also did it like a dry brush technique for the rock itself. Kind of a loose interpretation of the dry brush technique, let's say. You know, like I said, I'm a learning artist, always learning, and I like my imperfect design style, my imperfect art style, I guess. I also added a little pigeon type seagull. There we go, seagull, not pigeon. Seagull over on the rock looking at the doll, trying to figure out what's going on. I thought that was a nice little touch. And then moving on to the hair. And I don't think I mentioned this, but my mermaid is eating ice cream, which is, I'm sure, not really possible. But you know what? I wanted to, so I did. So she's eating ice cream. I don't know where she got it, and I don't know how she got it from where she got it to the rock, but she got some ice cream on a cone, 2 scoops, and she's eating it and enjoying it. And yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm rambling so much. Here, I'm going back and finishing up the hand, but actually you could see on like the thumb part, it still bleeds a little bit. And then adding a little bit of shadow with the same pigment, same tone, just kind of layering it for some shadow on her skin. And then adding the blue shirt. And I was thinking of like a seaweed ice cream maybe, so green. Or maybe a pistachio or a mint chocolate chip. I don't know. And then another layer for the hair. So overall, in my Mermay series, I've done 14 of these now. And I am enjoying them, but I'm starting to feel like they're a little repetitive. I'm trying to figure out if I want to fully complete Mermay, or maybe just go to like 15, or maybe like 16. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do the full 30 days. We'll see. I want to do something other than a mermaid, and this takes up a lot of time. I am enjoying it though. I've always loved painting mermaids because they're so flowy. Here I'm trying to add some shadow, thinking that might help add some interest. And then here, going in with my tiny brush, adding the tiny details. In trying to illustrate my being above water, I put some little birdies flying in the distance. moving on to the colored pencils. Giving the bird had a white head, so I was just trying to give him a little bit of an outline so you could see his head. And again, these eyes really make the character. When they don't have eyes, they look just so sad. And I also was trying to push myself with her expression in a way, because I wanted her licking the ice cream, but I don't know if I quite achieved that. You be the judge. Let me know in the comments. Does it look like she's licking the ice cream, or does it look like, some crab is biting her face? I don't know. But the outline, I think, I try to do art without outlines, but I love the contrast of outlines. I don't know if I can move past it. I like the clarity. I guess I just need to work on my shapes and my shading better. And that would help with the not needing an outline so much. Maybe I'll work on that. I like the outlines, and I like it when the outline doesn't quite match that imperfect style. Adding more colored pencil, adding more colored pencil, and using it to create some texture in the water as well. And then here, my white paint pen, my cheap one, it was not working for me either. White is not my friend, apparently. I was trying to give her some shine in her hair since she's above water, and some shine on her tail, and some shine on the water, but it was a struggle. And then I almost forgot the gold. I almost completed this whole thing and was like, all done, and then I realized, I didn't even do the gold, which is usually my favorite part. But when her hair is not all super flowy and like taking up half the page, you forget about it. And then the tiny, tiny details. And then I added a little bit of contrast to make her eyes pop a little bit. So I did them in pen. And then sign my name and write the number 14, because I've done 14 of these. Here's the finished product. What do you guys think? Overall, I think the mermaid looks good. I think the ice cream gets a little lost, and I feel like the doll itself got a little muddy. So I don't know what quite happened there. So she needs more contrast to make her pop a little bit better. Please check back on my channel for a lot more art content, and if you could, like and subscribe. That would be great. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope you guys tune in for next one. Thanks. Bye.